YouTube, what's up? This is Ben from ShouldIGetIt.com. We are in my 2015 Mini Cooper S F56. I have a Borla exhaust installed on here, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. If you guys haven't yet seen my install video, you can check that out. There's a link below, but I want to talk about what life has been like since. The startup, and this is definitely the favorite thing I've done to any car I've ever had. So let's get rolling. First, I want to apologize for my crazy hair. I have the GoPro on my head and it's kind of messing with it. I just took a shower, but I've had the Borla exhaust on for a few months now. I think it's been 3 or 4 months. And for this video, I want to talk about the mic setup first. So I have a lavalier microphone right here, so you guys can hear me, and this is me talking into that mic. Then I have a bigger microphone right here. You guys can see this Rode video mic to capture kind of the cabin sounds. And then, of course, I'll cut in some more clips of the exhaust so you can hear it. But right now, the car is in the regular mid mode, and that's, you know, what I drive it in 5% of the time. I honestly drive it in sport almost all the time when I'm in this car. And right now it's 83 degrees. As you guys can see here, I don't know if you can actually see this, but the engine has been warmed up. All the heat levels are okay. So let me talk about this exhaust finally, sorry. So in mid mode, the car is just a tiny bit louder than it is stock, but it's not super loud. So it's really nice. Whenever I come back into my neighborhood, I just go from sport mode using the little switch here back into mid mode. And in mid mode, it's quiet. You'll hear that I can rev it up right here. It still sounds really good. In the high revs, it gets pretty loud, but it doesn't do any sort of pops. It's not really excessive. And the startup, unless it's really cold, is still pretty quiet. So sometimes really early in the morning, cold start, it'll idle kind of high. The car will be super loud, but you know, usually I just cruise out of the driveway, and the neighbors haven't complained at all. I've asked them about it. They said they don't even notice the car in the mornings, which is good. But then again, maybe my neighbors are just really heavy sleepers. So now what I want to do is show you why I got this exhaust. So I'm going to put it into sport mode here. You can hear the car rev up. Sounds really good. And then there's those pops. Hopefully that's translating through the microphone pretty well. But as you can see, right around 4,000 RPM, similar to the stock exhaust, it does that little backfire pop sound, which I so dearly love. I mean, it's so fun to do that. It's kind of obnoxious, but it is a lovely sound and feeling as well. So whenever the car is in sport mode and you downshift pretty high in the revs, or you just let off the throttle right around 4,000 RPM, it'll do that pop. So I'm gonna go 6 to 3rd. You can hear it pop right there. Again, 4,000 RPM. And it just, all the time. Hopefully you guys can hear the turbo blowing off a little bit of air right there. But just whenever you want it to pop, it'll pop pretty much. And then, you know, sometimes it runs out. I'm not totally sure why. But you just wait a couple more minutes and it'll do it again. It's kind of like popcorn. It's like you know, heat one bag of popcorn, then the popping stops, and then you know, you have the next bag of popcorn, and then you get to pop all over again. But this is so fun. Oh my goodness. So I've taught a lot of people how to drive stick on this Mini. I've taught probably 10 people now, and everyone always asks, they're like, why does your car do those little fart things? And I explained to them, you know, that it only happens in sport mode and it's if you want it, blah, blah, and I always teach them how to drive the car in eco or mid mode. And then they go, why isn't the car popping? So I put it in sport mode, and it is the most addicting thing about this car. So as soon as people get sport mode on and the exhaust starts popping, they just want those pops all the time. And it's so easy to produce, and it just sounds fantastic. So I mean, I have nothing bad to say about the exhaust. As you heard on the highway, it doesn't drone very much. There's almost no drone at all compared to the stock exhaust. You know, the car is kind of loud at higher speeds anyways, just from road noise. So there's no drone, it doesn't get annoying. I did like a 300-mile trip in this car a couple weeks back. You know, my passenger and I were totally fine. No headaches at all from the exhaust. And it just sounds really good. So when you want it to be loud, you put it in sport mode and it sounds great. And you know, when you want the pops to stop, let me show you right here. So hopefully it'll pop. Right there it pops. put it into mid mode, and as you can hear, when I let off, no pops at all. Downshift, no pops at all. And you just hear the engine a little bit, but the exhaust is, you know, it's there, but it's not super loud. So I love kind of the bipolarness almost of this exhaust setup. So you can have a really loud car if you want, you know, you just tap the sport mode button right there, the car perks up a little bit, downshift, you get those pops, downshift again, you get louder pops. I mean, it's just such a fun setup. And the noise levels are totally manageable, which is the most important thing. I was worried that either the pops would be gone or the car would be too loud, but it's totally fine. So as you'll hear right now, it's a fun part to play with. As you'll hear, higher RPMs, you know, there's not much drone, that's just the exhaust sounding really good. And then I'll put it into mid mode. You probably won't hear it on this road, it's not the smoothest, but so you can hear it. There's no drone right here, doing right around 70 miles an hour. And then when I go into mid mode, quiets down just a tiny bit. So again, this is mid mode right here. I don't know if you guys can hear this, I hope you can. And then sport mode, almost no difference at all on the highway. So this is a great exhaust setup. I'm super happy with it. It probably affected my fuel economy a little bit. It made it go down just a tiny bit. I'm still getting, you know, 25.6 miles to the gallon, so I drive in sport mode all the time. And I downshift excessively. Honestly, I don't have to do like 50% of the downshifts that I do, but I love the popping sound so much. The crackle is just totally awesome. So that's what I love to do right now. Downshift pop, third gear, pop, 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 a little bit of gas let off. Oh my goodness. It's just like I fell in love with the car all over again. Not that I had the car that long when I put this exhaust on, but as soon as I put it on, it became a different beast, and I fell in love with it even more so. And now again, second gear, little pull, pop, 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 pop. But you can see driving around, I'm at 4,000 RPM. It's not very loud. You know, some cars, they'll just drone on forever, like my friend Michael's G35 that you guys will see in some video in the near future, but it sounds pretty quiet. I'm in sport mode, as you guys can see it, so sport right there. I'm doing, you know, 2,000 RPM, second gear, and it's just loud when you want it to be. It's perfect, right? Because you don't want an exhaust that's gonna, you know, give you a headache all the time. You don't want an exhaust that's gonna piss people off. And this is the perfect middle ground right there. Because you can have an exhaust that'll piss people off, but only when you want to. You know, when you're out on the open road or in the mountains, you really want to enjoy it. And when you want to be civilized, again, just pop it back into mid mode right here, and you're set. You can hear that the car, even second gear, pretty quiet. That's it. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks again to the team over at Borla for sending this out, and Sonic Motorsports for installing the exhaust. I will see you guys in the next one. Please subscribe, and if you have a Mini Cooper, let me know if you have an exhaust, what exhaust it is, and if you don't have an exhaust, why you don't have one yet. Because I know the stock system sounds really good. That's, you know, I was enjoying that. I was so happy. I still think it's one of the best stock exhausts you can get, other than the Fiat 500 Abarth, which I did another video on. But this thing sounds super good. And again, I'm gonna do, actually I'll do a mid-mode pull right now. So let's see if we can do a little 0 to 40. First gear, second gear, third gear. So you can hear that it sounds really good. It's got a nice deep growl to it. But then again, when you're just cruising, nice and quiet. So it's a sixth gear cruising right now, down to third gear. Still not all that loud. Then you get the revs up, car gets nice and loud, and then sport mode, downshift to second, pop, pop, pop. All right, now the video is actually done. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you in the next one. Peace.